Hi everyone. Today we'll be doing something new related to array. You might have played this game before. When I was in my school, I used to play this a lot. Wherever I get the blank space, I just used to draw the board and play it. So yeah, today we'll be creating our own tic tac toe and play it. So let's see how we can do this. Before I start, let me give you the basic overview how we'll be doing this. At first, we'll create a one-dimensional array of character type. So this array will hold all the elements of the board. So it will just hold the elements like at first we'll place the numbers in the board. So this array will hold all that numbers. And after declaring an array, we'll create some functions. The first function will be used for creating the board of tic-tac-toe, and we'll use the second function for marking the board with the sign X and O, and the last function will check the winner. So this is just a basic overview how we'll be making this work. So this will be more clear if we'll see the code. So let's get it started. So at first we'll create an array called box. So it will be of character type, and the size of this array will be 10 because we'll be having 3 rows. So I'll just initialize the elements here. 0 1. So the array is of character type, so I have initialized the elements in this order. So each element will be placed in a quotation box, and after this I'll create a function called creating board for creating our tic-tac-toe board. It is of void type, and I'll create another function for marking the board with the sign X and O. So the name of this function will be marking board, and this will also be of void type. And the last function will be of integer type for checking the winner. So I'll name this function as check for win. And I'll pass the parameters. So two parameters. The first parameter will be of integer type, and the second parameter will be of character type. Now let's define our first function, creating board. So I'll write the printf function for printing the heading of our game. Just I'll name it as tic-tac-toe. So I'll add some slash n for printing it in a new line just to make it look better. And after this I'll write another printf function for giving the index to the player. Like if the player is 1, then he will be marking X, and if the player is player number 2, then the number he gives will be marked by 0. And some slash n for making it look better. And after this I'll write another printf function. So we are just creating a board just to print that format of board. So I'll be writing this. You can create a board in any way that you like. So you can add a style to it, the way you want it to look like. So I'll just write some printf functions here. %C because we are printing the characters that we have initialized in the above array. So the array here holds all the values of character type. So I've written %C here. So this printf function is for the first row of our board. So I'll place the index for the first row. So box 1 will be representing the value 1, character 1 and box 2 will be representing the character 2, so it will go in the same way. And after this I'll write another printf function just to make that format of tic-tac-toe board. So, and for printing the elements of the second row, I'll just copy the same thing here and paste it here. Now I'll change the index because we are writing the printf for the second row of the tic-tac-toe board. So I'll just change it there, and just to add a bit more style to it, I'll write another printf function. So after this it will look a complete board. So I'll just copy mm, this statements and paste it here because it will be the same for the next line. And so yeah, this is done. So we have simply created our board here. Now just to show you how our board looks like, so I'll call the function here, and if I'll run this, then our board looks like this. So the first printf function showing tic-tac-toe. So now we'll be defining our next function, marking board. So I'll just write the same function here, and since we have passed two parameters, so I'll just declare the parameters here. So int choice will be the representing the choice of the player, and int mark will be the mark that our player will place. So it will be of character type, and I'll pass the same elements here. So this function will take the same function that we have initialized at the main function, and after this we'll write some if statements. So if the choice of the user is equal to 1, then and if the box of index 1 is also equal to 1, so if this box value is also equal to 1, then we'll simply mark that box with the mark. So this will be for the first box here, and again we'll place some else if statements here. If the choice is equal to 2 and if the box indexing 2 is also equal to 2, then the box 2 will also be equal to mark. So if this value get matched, then we'll place the mark at the place of box. So this is just some statement for this. And again for the third box, we'll write the conditions in the same way. And 3. So if this get matched, then the value of the box 3 will be replaced by mark. Same way for the fourth choice. If the user inputs the number 4, then then that box will be marked with the mark, and so we'll place the mark at this place too. So let me write all the conditions here. The user input anything else than this, that is, if we have no match, if the user gives the invalid value, then we'll just print the message invalid move. So this is all about our marking board function. Now we will define our next function here. Check for win. So we'll check all the conditions that will set the mark of winning. So check for win function holds all the conditions that a player can win. So if the box 1 is equal to box 2 and box 2 is equal to box 3, and if the mark is same, then if this condition holds true, then we'll simply return 1, and will so this function will also have uh, number of else if statements, because we'll have a lot of states, three vertical chances to win and three horizontal patterns and two diagonal patterns. So these are the patterns that will give the winning. So if box 4 is equal to box 5 and box 5 is equal to box 6, then also will return 1. For all the true statements, we'll return the value 1. And the next else if statement for if box 7 is equal to box 8 and box 8 is equal to box 9, then also will return 1, because this is also a true statement. For all the true pattern, will return 1. And so all these three statements are for the horizontal match. So I just commented that line so that it will be easier for you to remember. And now we'll write. So I'll just copy the statements here and change the index. So this is all the particle matches, and after this I'll write some else if statements for the diagonal match. So I'll just change the index here. So this is also a true statement, so I'll just return the value 1. For diagonal match, we'll just have two conditions. So these two statements will be representing our diagonal match. And after this, If there is no match, then we'll. So this last else if statements for if the user, if the value given by the user creates no match, then we'll write. So this statement is for that. So if the input given by the user doesn't match to any boxes, then we'll just return a valid 0. So this is statements for this. So if box 1 is not equal to the given value and box 2 is not equal to 2, and we'll write all the statements for the boxes up to 9. So I've listed all the possible matches here. So if there is no match, then we'll just return. So we'll just return the value 0. So any among all these statements is not satisfied, then at last we'll just return the value -1. So I'll write the else statement for this. Return -1. So yeah, we are done with our check for win function. Now we will declare some variables. Player equal to 1, just to choose the player, turn, and I for looping. And I'll just use this function call, and so we'll be using do while loop here. So we'll do some tasks here while I is equal to -1. So this loop will run until the value of I is equal to -1. When the value of I will be equal to -1, then this loop will terminate out. So at first we'll create a board. So I'll call the function creating board here, and after this I'll write a statement here, player equal to player mode 2. So if this statement is true, then the value will be equal to 1, and if it is false, then the value will be equal to 2. So after this, so the what sign here holds the true condition and the colon here holds the false condition. So after this, I'll write the printf function here, player %d, enter number. So just this is just giving a message to the player to enter a number. So I'll get the index of player. So %d will now have the value of player, and scanf because so we'll be giving the address of the choice variable that we have declared above. So this is basically the choice of the user. So I have given the address, and after this I'll have another statement, mark equal to player equals to 1. So if the player is equal to 1, then we'll place the value with, or we'll replace the value with x, and if the player is equal to 2, then we'll mark the place with O. So the statement after what is the true statement here, and if the player is 1, then we'll just mark it by X, and if the player is 2, then we'll mark the place by 4, and after this I'll call the function here marking board, as we have initialized the two parameters here. So I'll pass it that declared two parameters, choice and mark here, and I've called the function here, and after this I'll call the function at the variable I, check for win. So we have just given the value here, so I will now get the value that our function check for win will return, and after this we'll increase the value of player. So after each iteration the value of the player will increase, and after this we'll create call the function creating board again, and if we'll have another if statement. If the value of I is equal to 1, then we'll print the message here percentage D. So it is just the printf statement for printing the message that you have won the game. So here percentage D, you have won the match for this or the game. So I'll just paste the player variable here, and if this statement hold true false, then we'll just print the message that the game is draw. So I'll write the printf function for this, and inside this I'll print the message, I'll write the message draw. So just to add a little bit style to this, so I have just added some spaces and arrows there, so just to make it look a bit nice. So semicolon at the last, and now let's run the code here. So if I'll run this code here, then you can see the output as like this. So here the message player 1 enter a number. So if I'll enter any number among the board, then if I enter 1, then you can see at the place of 1 the sign X is placed, and there's another message player 2 enter a number. So if I'll enter any number such as 2, then you can see at the place of 2 0 is placed or O is placed, and again you can see the another message player 1 enter a number. If I'll enter 4, then you can see at the place of 4 X is placed. So if I'll enter another number, then you can see the output as like this, and if I'll enter the next number here, then you can see the message player 1 you have won the game. So finally we are done. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with another video soon. Till then, keep watching.